Throughout history, people have traveled across cultural boundaries for many different reasons. Experts estimate that 25 people cross national borders every second and 1 billion journeys per year. Why people leave their country? They leave their country because national revolutions, civil war, and guest workers, refugees, tourists, or study abroad students. Think about how the privilege disadvantage dialectic structure some kinds of intercultural transitions. For example, business people who live abroad while working for transnational corporations often are economically privileged. In contrast, refugees often lack financial resources in their new host location. They may have few opportunities to meet other people, travel in their new homeland, or purchase basic necessities. In this way, they may not view their new environment in the same way as a more privileged migrant. For example, a Muslim woman may feel that she cannot wear her chadar in certain US contexts and cannot express her religious identity. The dialectic calls for a balance between the individual and contextual demands. There are two types of migrant groups. The first is voluntary migrants and the second is involuntary migrant. There are two groups of voluntary travelers. Sojourners are those travelers who move into new cultural contexts for a limited time and a specific purpose. An immigrant is a family who voluntarily leave one country to settle in another. Exemplified. US Americans believe that most immigrants come to the US in search of freedom. The truth is, the primary reason people come to the US is to join other family members, and two other primary reasons are for employment and to escape from war, famine, or poverty. There are two kinds of migrant labor: cheap manual labor and highly skilled intellectual labor. Newly industrializing countries need trained labor for routine and repetitive tasks. And also, newly rich countries and individuals are in need of domestic service. Increasing numbers of immigrant workers are women. Yes, women. Why? Because they are often more reliable than men and they are increasingly doing manual work and employed as domestic. They describe how millions of women from poor countries in the south migrate to do the women's work of the north and work that middle and upper class women are no longer able or willing to do. For example, Mexican and Latin American women are the domestic for US women, and Asian migrant women work in British home. More and more people are moving temporarily. Now let's move into involuntary immigrants. There are two types of migrants move involuntarily. The first is long-term refugees and the second is short-term refugees. Most refugees are from developing countries and flee to other nearby developing countries. In Africa, conflict between the Muslim North and the Christian South of Sudan moved refugees to Chad, Kenya, and other neighboring countries. In Somalia and the Democratic Republic of Congo, internal conflict have sent refugees fleeing over the last decade. Most refugees, whether they have migrated domestically or internationally, want to return home as soon as possible. And an unprecedented number have done just that in the last 4 years, an estimate 6 million.
Created using Powtoon.